This episode of ETC is brought to you by the all-new 2016 Honda HR-V, the crossover that gets it right.
What's up, guys? Welcome back for another news dump.
So,
you're supposed to fart.
Oh, yeah.
Do it. Okay, there we go.
So, Homer and Marge are getting divorced.
Uh-oh.
Yep, in a recent interview with Variety, Simpsons executive producer Al Jean dropped the bombshell that in next season's premiere episode, Homer discovers that he has narcolepsy this whole time, and then he falls in love with his pharmacist, played by Lena Dunham from Girls. This causes Homer and Marge to legally separate.
The Simpsons just did it again. They did it again. Just knocked it out of the park, guys. Simpsons fans online reacted with the expected amount of shock and dismay at the whole thing, not understanding that, no, you idiot, Homer and Marge aren't going to be permanently separated because this is The Simpsons and almost nothing the show's two-decade run has carried over into canon.
Yeah, it was like Flanders' wife dying.
Yeah.
It's like one of the few things.
Yeah, she got killed at the NASCAR track.
Yeah, NASCAR's dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, the official Simpsons Twitter account quickly responded, tweeting out a picture of Bart at the chalkboard with the words, "Homer and Marge are not breaking up," written all over it. But fans were still freaking out, and Al Jean took to Twitter to personally respond to various people's tweets about the whole thing, but he didn't actually, tweet anything out that wasn't, @tagged. He was just replying to individual...
Just doing, not a blanket statement, just very personal responses from Al Jean.
No, it's not happening.
Yeah. Well, this guy will tell his friends. It'll be fine. Between this whole fake Homer and Marge getting divorced scandal and the previous revelation that in next year's Treehouse of Horror episode, Sideshow Bob will finally get to kill Bart, the Simpsons fans are really proving to not be that great at reading comprehension or basic logic. So, no offense, but guys, it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
They can do whatever they want.
Why are you still watching it? Why?
All right, but let's move on from something that's worn out its welcome for, a couple years, a couple ways, to something fresh and new that we're stoked on, despite it coming from Lifetime, which is television for women. Yeah.
We're talking about A Deadly Adoption, the upcoming TV movie from Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig that's going to parody Lifetime's super melodramatic made-for-TV movies on Lifetime.
We previously told you that this is going to be about Ferrell and Wiig as a successful married couple who take in a pregnant woman in hopes of adopting her child when things
go awry.
Uh-oh.
And now there's a teaser trailer for it, although for whatever reason they've blocked it in Great Britain, so I had to waste 20 minutes finding a reliable VPN that wasn't going to ruin my computer.
We got around it, guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We're very resourceful. But we did see it. It's very short. It doesn't show much.
It's like Will Ferrell covered in blood.
Yeah.
And then...
The best part is it looks like they're going to take this completely serious. It's not going to be a comedy. The only comedy will come from watching these two comedic actors try to be serious on screen.
Yeah, it'll come out on June 20th. It'll be interesting to see how straight-faced the whole thing actually is.
I think it's deadpan the whole way, like exactly how they'd play it if they were serious.
Well, I'll be watching.
Yeah, it'll be good. Let's move on to some Netflix news because they just joined the mainstream movie game. They've just acquired Brad Pitt's feature-length satirical comedy War Machine. So this isn't the first time Netflix has acquired a movie per se. We've reported before about their funding of some of Adam Sandler's comedies. But as far as I can tell, this might be the first released in theaters as well as on the streaming platform.
The film's based on a book called The Wild and Terrifying Inside Story of America's War in Afghanistan.
Sounds hilarious.
Yeah, a real romp by Michael Hastings. And the movie is going to star Brad Pitt and have David Michaud in the director's chair.
So this is a unique step for Netflix because it's going to be released theatrically, but also on its streaming service, which is it's weird.
It's gonna be simultaneous?
It didn't say in the article, but I would assume you know it's gonna be on streaming, so maybe why would I go pay for it in theaters? So we have to kind of wait and see how this affects the box office take. I'm assuming it's gonna be a limited release if it is.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to stream it on Netflix. But yeah, I mean, this could be kind of a trailblazing type of move for future movie releases, which would be cool.
Interesting. Anyway, in the film, Brad Pitt plays a 4-star general who's determined to win the impossible war in Afghanistan.
It's going to find its release sometime next year. There's no hard date that we've seen yet. And like we said, we don't know if it's going to be theater and streaming at the same time, or if there's going to be a little leeway there. I don't know.
In other Netflix news, though, if you're a fan of Orange is the New Black, you'll have noticed that Season 3 was released on the service in its entirety earlier than expected, which was no doubt exciting for people that were waiting to binge watch this latest season.
I'm still stuck in Season 2, little Season 2 purgatory, because there's just too much media these days.
Too much.
But with the release of this season and the initial reviews it's getting, I need to catch up real quick, so.
Too much Netflix.
Too much Netflix to watch.
I can't watch it all.
All the Daredevils and the House of Cardses and the Arrested Developments and everything, it's just too good.
I can't. I have to quit my job if I want to watch all these. Yep. Anyway, we've also got an update on that Lonely Island project called Connor for Real, which follows Andy Samberg as a fallen from grace pop star looking to reignite his career, because now we have an actual release date for the movie.
Yeah, it'll be released in just under a year on June 3rd, 2016. And this thing has an all-star cast. It features not only all of the Lonely Island crew, but also Tim Meadows as the band's manager, Imogen Poots as Sandberg's love interest, and even Sarah Silverman as the publicist.
And we haven't really ever been let down by the Lonely Island, so...
Yeah, any of their shorts, any of their movies, they're all great.
They have a pretty high standard for quality, so...
Great track record. Even Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah. Fantastic show.
It's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had the opportunity last weekend to talk to Jurassic World director Colin Trevorrow and actors Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard at the Jurassic World junket. So let's cut over to that.
So, honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm pretty intimidated. You're like the coolest dude in the world right now.
True.
But I'm gonna try to get through this. So, I mean, do you remember seeing the first Jurassic Park as a kid?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Experiencing that?
Oh, Elliot, I remember. I was 13. I saw it in the theaters opening weekend. I was like, I feel like everybody did. It was such a huge success. It kind of captured a whole generation.
I vividly remember watching Jurassic Park for the first time. I was 12 years old. I saw it opening weekend in the theaters and left the theaters totally shell-shocked. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it before. I think none of us had.
Did you feel a lot of pressure about people being like, do we need another Jurassic movie?
I tried to use that. You know,
Okay.
I recognized that it was there, and I felt the same way. It was the first question I asked: is why is Jurassic Park 4? You know, what are we doing? And what audacity and arrogance to think that you could make a movie that could stand alongside Jurassic Park, however new it might be, and however much time has passed or how much technology has advanced since then.
When you love the franchise as much as I did, or Bryce or Colin Trevorrow, the writer-director, I think there is pressure to get it right and to make sure that you're starting off with a great script. And so the pressure was really on Colin. I felt it going into it, but as soon as I read the script, I knew that we had a fresh take. I knew we had an angle that was unlike anything people would expect, and was deserving of the title of Jurassic World. And so the pressure was kind of off, and then at that point it was just all about having some fun.
It's just so cool to see Andy Dwyer's dream come true in the best way possible here.
Elliot, you're so right. This is like my Burt Macklin. I get to be the superhero guy who's running away from dinosaurs and riding a motorcycle and carrying around a gun. Andy Dwyer would cream his jeans.
You really did a great job sort of envisioning what 20 years time with this sort of technology would create, where they had this just sitting around for so long. How did you kind of go into that? Did you research how theme parks work and stuff like that?
We did, and we just, I think everything has become very corporatized and very clean. You travel around the world, everything is starting to look the same. And so we took a bit from that. We also took a bit from the pretty clear idea that everybody wants to feel rich when they travel, and there's like this luxury that people desire, and that this park was made to feel much like Hammond envisioned initially, like a really, really high-end experience. Exactly, no expense, and so. All of those things went into it, and I wanted it to feel like a real place that would exist in 2015, that kids will see this movie and insist to their parents, I have to go there. I have to go to that place.
That's so much of the fun of this film is, here we are, Jurassic World, 22 years since Jurassic Park, and the park is open. I mean, it is the manifestation of John Hammond's dream, and for me, just as like the inner 12-year-old was freaking out over the notion of being like, oh my gosh, it's a dinosaur theme park. Like, I want to see what that's like.
All right, guys, we are in London right now to do some interviews for the movie Ted 2 with Mark Wahlberg, Seth MacFarlane. It's going to be fun. Universal was kind enough to send us here, and we had a blast while we were here this time. Much better than last time. And what a lovely city now that we're staying in a part of town that actually has people in it.
Yeah, and stay tuned next week, because we're going to E3.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite sure what we're going to do there.
Oh, Tugs is going to be beautiful.
Yeah, hopefully we get to get our hands on some cool new stuff.
I want VR, damn it.
I want my life to be VR.
And in case you've missed it, guys, Gods and Monsters it's fully out by now.
Yeah.
Go watch all the episodes. They're great. And then make sure to watch our podcast with Bruce Timm. It was actually released a little bit early because we wanted to get it up because of all the Gods and Monsters hype. The series is fantastic.
It's great. If you haven't watched it, please watch The Chronicles And then the movie comes out in like a month.
It's like July, but Bruce Timm was he was so nice and very gracious.
Yeah.
So check that out, and we will see you guys next week from E3 and back home.